Hello everyone, this is Lindsay. Welcome back to my channel and another Marketplace journal share. These journals come to us all the way from India and they're waiting for their new homes. The lovely artist of these journals has a gorgeous Indian name that I don't know how to pronounce and I'm afraid I will butcher it. It begins with an M and it is so beautiful. And I think that, I'm not even going to try because I'm going to mess it up, but you can see in the what's it called, the listing title or whatever, what her gorgeous name is. And here we go. I'm going to show you her journals that she's made. They're beautiful and they're from India, like I said. And then after all that, I have a flip through of a journal that I've created that is in my shop, but I don't want to take away from her lovely work. So if you are interested in seeing that, stay tuned until the end. All right, so let's get into it. One thing I absolutely love about the Marketplace is that we get to see journals from all over the world. And then, especially if you're in the US like I am, it's only $2.99 shipping that I charge to have these journals shipped to you, which if you tried to order them from India, the shipping would probably be as much as the journal. So this is a one signature soft cover. Look at the gorgeous appliques on the front. The base is cardstock, but she has layered it up with fabrics. There's even a little vintage looking label here that you can write something on and some beads on the spine. A gorgeous gold ribbon. Isn't that a gorgeous applique? Isn't it just stunning? And these little gold corners. Bohemian Junk Journal, 44 pages. So here we go. I love the little sari tabs and the sari elements, like the sari silk, the little tassel. India fascinates me. I would love to travel there someday. And I love to be able to see work from the artists. It's not the first time I've sold journals from India. It's always an honor. Look at how pretty. Look at that one. It's like a piece of sari silk that has this sequined leaf embroidery on it. It is beautiful. All these trims. Makes a really nice writing journal. I think this might be some Indian currency. I don't know enough about India to know the values or if it's real or not, but that's just a really neat touch. There's a little bag in the back. Oh my, she has included sari snippets that you can use to further decorate the journal. Aren't they gorgeous? All the colors, there's a lot in here. That is special. So you have all those little pieces that you can use just tucked right here, right in the back of the journal. So this is the first one. Next, we have this one. It's collaged up on the front with some flowers and different elements. I just glued this camera back on. Making the trip over from India was not kind to it and it fell off, but that glue's still drying. I love that binding. Got that beautiful button. Love this, the paper. So let's see inside of it. So this is kind of like a traveler's notebook. So you can put inserts in and out. This is just a simple booklet for jotting things down, note-taking, or things like that. Some of these stickers and things are falling off. I think it's just from the really long trip. It's gone through a lot, the poor thing. And then there's like a pocket that you can put things in, and then another little booklet, and then another little tuck spot and pocket. It's kind of almost like an album / traveler's notebook. So there's places for photos to tuck things and then journaling as well. And then you could replace the books if you want. Make sure that glue dries before I ship it out. but that is just a sweet little reusable notebook cover there. Here is an album. It says Forever and Always. Isn't that pretty? I like the pink and the silver. Make sure I'm in frame since this is kind of a long one. Oh wow, look at that. It pops open, so when you put photos here, just close it down. I haven't seen that before. That is really neat. There's all these little photo mats. To me, it's either like Valentine's Day, little magnet, or a wedding, or even a little baby book, like a little baby girl book. These photo mats, more here and here, and then more in here. And that wraps, I think, around the button. You have a gatefold that opens, and it opens this way too. There's a lot of room to add photos and journaling in this, as well as maybe your own stickers or stencils. Have some more photo mats here, as well as this opens, but here, oh. So there's that album. And then this is a cute little crocheted journal bag. And then inside there is this journal. Isn't that pretty? I hope I'm staying in frame. Go. So it looks like you have a bag with goodies. A whole bunch of papers and goodies. Let's see. Yeah, all sorts of just different kinds of papers and ephemera that coordinate really well with this lovely cover. Isn't that pretty? And the beads. I love the size. 136 pages, naked junk journal, added ephemera pack, has handmade embellishments, hand crocheted carrier with button closure, thread with boho bead closure for journal. So this is just a blank. Look at that luscious coffee dye paper. It is just a blank journal, and then you can use those embellishments that coordinate with it to decorate it. But the coffee dyeing in this is on point. The pages are grungy and varied. Little pops of color. Just really, really nice for journaling. I think this would just make a perfect daily journal or to-do list, shopping list. I think I would like to use it as like a menu planner, shopping list. I just love that size paper when you have more length to journal for lists. And it comes in its own little carrying case, so you can tuck the ephemera bag and the journal right in it, and then put that in your purse or bag or suitcase when you travel, and it rather protects it. And it's a handmade case with a really pretty wooden button. The last one is this one right here. I love this. I think it's called Coptic stitching. I have not learned how to do it, but I like it. I love the exposed papers and the ends and the beautiful stitching. So she has different charms that are hanging off. Look at like a little Aladdin's lamp, locket and heart. They're so beautiful, all on the spine. I have some like a fabric closure. Let's see. I love the way these open so flat. Coptic binding journal, sari ribbon closure, 128 pages, copy dyed scrapbook papers and charms on the spine. So it does not appear to be embellished, but honestly, I don't feel like it needs to be. The scrapbook pages that she has chosen, look at how they're kind of already collaged and already have elements. It's almost as if it's a printed junk journal. So I think that's a really great idea for those of us making journals when we don't want to add a lot of embellishing. Either we want just room for writing, we want all the pages totally flat, or for whatever, the pages that we choose, if we choose pages that are collaged in a junk journal style, and then we distress or stencil or coffee dye or whatever we do to the rest of the pages, it gives an extremely cohesive look. And you don't really miss the embellishing, because you have these really interesting pages and then a place to write, a place to stick a sticker or a photo. I would so use this book, and this coffee dye is just, I'm drooling over it. So I love what she's done here. I love the papers she chose. So nice. So I hope that one of these journals speaks to you and that you would like to purchase one. They're in the marketplace section of my website. Any ones that haven't sold out by the time you see this, I hope that you enjoy. So that is the end of the marketplace video for today. I have at least 2 more artists that I will be featuring tomorrow, as long as everything goes smoothly. So make sure you subscribe so you can come back and be notified when that is live. So this morning I was working on a journal. If you're interested in the flip through, that's when this starts. So I'm trying to use up some supplies. I keep getting more in. I can't help myself. I've not been buying as much as I used to. I don't think, but there's still, you know, you go to Tuesday morning to get one thing and you wind up bringing a couple more home, or somebody sends you happy mail, or you're printing kits and you have extra pages, or you do one project and you have several scraps left over. So I am still surrounded by scraps, and I've been making extra stuffed journals using up scraps. But instead of doing a single signature extra stuffed journal like I've been doing, I did a 4 signature one, and I actually created this cover, 4 signatures. I made the entire thing today. It went really well. One thing I think this journal taught me is that the mood that we're in and the place that we're in life really gets translated to the journal. I picked the fabric out yesterday, and I picked the size of the journal yesterday because I grabbed 2 cracker boxes that I had set aside, and they were a little bit smaller. So the size of this is 5 by 7.5, and I love the size. I didn't really start working on it till today though, and you don't know what the finished product is always going to be unless you're doing like a design team project or something where you've printed off a specific kit, or you've bought a specific paper pad, or you have a specific theme in mind. But for me, my only goal was to use up items and to get them into a journal that could be used and loved by somebody. So this journal is available in the Junk Journals by Lindsay section in my website. And what I've done is just grabbed a fabric. I don't even remember where I got it from. I think it was Happy Mail. I think someone just sent it to me, but it's this kind of pink houndstooth type look, pink and like ivory. And I thought that would just make a great backing for a journal. And I decided to create a spine. It's 1.5 inches. And then I sewed in 4 signatures. And for once they came out pretty straight and pretty nice. And instead of doing a super jagged edge like I normally do and like I normally like, I decided to fold the fabric under and make a little bit of a cleaner edge. But I did a kind of rustic applique type fabric heart here on the back. I added eyelets, and there's just a pink thin ribbon. On the front, there's a gorgeous lace piece, a flower embroidered applique, a little cameo, and a little heart button. So that is the front. It has, let's see, there's 8 pages in each signature, so 32 pages total. So whatever 32 times 4 is, that's how many pages are in this journal, and I'll have the exact number in the listing. But let's get into it. This is not overstuffed. I used up a lot of papers, and I did use up some ephemera, but I wanted to make sure that it could be used as a writing journal, and there would be room for people to, for whoever buys it, to add more to it. So I used that same coordinating fabric that I used on the heart here in the spine. And then I used up, I only have a few pages of this paper pad left. It's a Paradise one I bought a few years ago. I've done parakeet journals with it and other things, but I did that for the end paper. And then I've just made a little pocket and tucked in a part of a book page. So my rule with making this was to not buy anything, to not buy any new digitals, to not print any new stuff. I did make one exception, and that was as long as I used my laser printer, because my laser printer does not print borderless. I don't really like it for printing orders anymore because I'm trying to make all of my journal kits borderless printing. So I'm trying to use up the toner I have just in the journals that I'm making. So that was part of using things up. And if I only printed on the back of papers I already had. So, and I only printed from one shop. It's digitalpapershop.com. They're her floral papers. So that's one here. But this was from my beautiful petals in a kit. And I had this page printed, but it was white on the back, so I printed. I'm not going to be saying throughout the whole journal where everything came from, because it is just a mishmash of stuff that is left over. So I just suggest that you go to my website and look through my digitals. If you're interested in some of the pages that you see, I have just reduced the prices on all digital kits to $2.99. That is the new price. I want to get my digitals into the hands of even more of you. I want to make sure that they're affordable so that you don't have to spend a lot of time thinking if you really want to pay that much. I want you to just be able to go to my shop and know that you can buy something without it really hitting your craft budget. I've also made all my ephemera printables only $1.99, and of course there's the dollar digis. I thought that might just be helpful for everybody. But I'm not going to name every shop throughout here. The only shop I'm going to name is digitalpapershop.com, because I actually did print out some of her floral papers. Everything else was already in my stash somewhere. So here I have this is a double-sided tag, little sticker. I will mention though, I said I wouldn't, but I will anyway. Some of these sort of orange pink flower stickers, and then the stamps. Some of the stamps I used were from In Love Arts, and you can go to their site to get a whole bunch of paper and scrapbooking things. But I've done layering with textured wallpaper, Tim Holtz paper dolls, just little cutouts, coffee dyed paper, little printouts from ephemera packs, a little wallpaper envelope that JoAnn made, and it's empty, so you can put photos or receipts in there. I've added a little bits of lace. It's just no real theme. It's just kind of feminine and girly and fun. I've tried to add the coordinating fabrics. I've tried to just have places that you can journal. Try to have things you can move around. Isn't that a gorgeous stamp? Yeah, these stamps are In Love Arts. Loving background stamps. I've just tried to keep it simple but pretty. That was my goal. I was watching a show while I was making or decorating the pages, which usually for me is the best way to go if I want my creative juices to just flow out and to get kind of a journal that is put together from my subconscious and not overthought. I'm usually really happy with the results. And I've been watching a show on Netflix called Diagnosis. And it is very, very interesting. It's kind of a documentary series. So if you like medical shows at all, especially ones where they're trying to figure out complex cases, I was putting that on. It's a great show to watch when you're crafting, because most of the information and the interesting parts of it, I did journal in some of it. I added little notes to whoever whoever buys this journal. The Joy of Nature. I just added a couple little notes. Here's some sticky notes. But it's a perfect show. I'm talking about Diagnosis. It's a perfect show to watch when you're crafting, because you don't really have to pay attention to the screen that much. You can look up at it, but most of it is all in the words and in the talking. It's kind of like listening to an audiobook with some pictures. So I had that on while I crafted, and I felt like, since it was such an informational and interesting show, it kept my mind thinking and flowing very smoothly, and the whole journal flowed together so well because of it. So that's one of my tips for crafting, is turn something on and turn off your brain and let your subconscious craft. especially if you've made a lot of journals, then you already know what you're doing. So turn your mind off sometimes. Do any of you have things like that that you do when you're crafting? A certain show you watch or music you listen to or audiobook? I'd love to know if you'd put it in the comments below. So that is this gorgeous journal. I want to keep this one for myself, but no, I made it for all of you, for one of you actually, because you can't all buy it unfortunately. But yeah, it's in my shop. I hope you enjoy it. And I hope that you buy these gorgeous journals from India as well. I'll see you back tomorrow with more marketplace journals. I hope you all have a lovely day.